In this video, I'll show you 5 beginner mistakes to avoid when making a new terrarium. Be sure to stick around to the end as some of these mistakes are worse than others. The first mistake you want to avoid is to do with the glassware. These clip lid jars make great terrariums, but they do have one flaw. They usually have 1 or 2 seams from when the glass jar was made. You want to make sure that these seams are positioned on the side of the terrarium and not on the front. I've made the mistake before of creating a beautiful terrarium only to finish and find an ugly line running straight down the front. This jar came with the seams at the side I want to be the front, so it's going to need some adjusting. All you've got to do is open the jar and twist the lid. I like to have the seam at the angle the jar opens and closes. Not all glassware comes with a seam, so you haven't always got to worry, but it is good to double check. The next mistake that you want to avoid is not trimming the moss and plants inside your terrarium. This one is coming up on 2 years old and it's certainly seen better days. The feature plant inside this terrarium was a stunning peperomia, but as you can see there's not much left of it as the moss has completely taken over. Not keeping on top of trimming will result in the faster growing species outcompeting the slower ones. Luckily it's not too late for this terrarium, so let's fix the problem. All I'm going to do is take some scissors and trim back the tall fern moss that's grown throughout the jar. Now that the moss is all trimmed down, I can give the glass a good clean and then get the lid back on. The peperomia is looking pretty rough, but I'm confident it's going to bounce back now it's got more space and more access to light. As for the moss cuttings, I'm certainly not going to throw them away as they can be used inside another terrarium. The next mistake is one that a lot of beginners make, and I unfortunately made it too. This terrarium was kept in direct sunlight and it's paid the price. The intensified light and heat cooks everything inside, which is definitely not what you want. Instead of direct sun, place your terrariums in a bright spot in indirect sunlight or alternatively under an LED display light. If you choose a display light, be sure to set it up on a timer to be on for 12 hours a day. This provides the perfect photo period for the plants to thrive, and it'll also mean that you never have to worry about forgetting to turn the light on. If you've been finding these tips useful so far, you might be interested in my terrarium making ebook. It's absolutely packed with useful information and it's perfect for anyone that's new to terrarium making. There'll be a link in the description as well as the pinned comment if you're interested. The next mistake can turn a lush, beautiful terrarium like this one into one like this in a matter of weeks. If you couldn't guess, this terrarium was overwatered. When you make a new terrarium, only water it until the substrate is damp and not wet or soggy. I find it really handy to use something like a pipette or a small spray bottle. These allow you to easily control the amount of water going inside the terrarium, which in turn helps prevent overwatering. This one only needed 1 pipette full and that was it. It's also beneficial to spread the watering out over the span of a couple days. After giving a terrarium some water, I'll close it up and leave it for 24 hours. This will allow the water to fully disperse throughout the terrarium and then you can decide if it needs any more. I'll give the terrarium less than I think it needs on day 1 and then day 2 I can add some more if it needs it. More often than not, the amount of water I gave it on day 1 turned out to be the perfect amount and it just needed to disperse throughout the terrarium. The last thing you want to do is add too much water as no one wants a terrarium looking like this one. The next mistake you certainly want to avoid is using a poor quality substrate mix. It's quite literally the lifeline of your terrarium's health, so it's important to use something good. A quality substrate mix should have these 4 characteristics. It should be resistant to compression, provide nutrients for the plants, hold moisture and be well draining. For example, if you were to use a substrate that wasn't well draining, it would cause water to build up and lead to it stagnating, which is far from ideal. I have got a completely separate video showing you the exact mix I've used to make thousands of terrariums, so why not check that out now.